Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here again. Some of you are going to notice I'm wearing the same shirt in multiple videos. That's because I'm shooting a bunch of them at one time. I'm trying to get some of the pinching out of the way for the year. Here, let's move that down, see if that'll help. There you go. Those are just my grow lights. Trying to get some of my pinching done for the year. Going to start working on the Calibrachoa. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about this one. Some of you want to know this is Calibrachoa Chameleon Indian Summer Improved. Okay, so just like all of my patented material that I have here this year, this is from Ball Seed. Name dropping again, Ball Seed, don't forget that. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to be pruning these for shape. Now, the Calibrachoa that I have here, I do have that for a very specific reason. You'll notice that unlike a lot of plant material, and remember, it's still early. Other video I said it was the 1st of February or last of February. It's actually the last of January right now. So my plants, yeah, they're blooming. I'm in northern Idaho. This is early for them to do that. This is nowhere near finished. We have February, March, April, and then into May. So I've still got 3 months to go. So I've got plenty of time to come in here and trim these for shape. One of the things to know is when you're growing the blossoms early on, get rid of them. You don't need them. You want your plant to actually be putting that material towards its size. So growing a larger plant, putting more of that energy into forming the shape, forming the branches. We'll worry about buds later, right? So I'm going to stop doing all my pinching and pruning and shaping basically first part of April. So I have February and March to still work. The reason I stop in April is it's 1 month from bud to bloom, right? So these little buds that you see started right there, up there on the very top, there's a little bud that started. You basically have 1 month from when that bud is formed all the way down where it's just a cluster of cells. It takes 1 month to go from a cluster of cells to a blossom, right? So I don't pinch anything closer than a month or within a month of when my plant sale is. My plant sale, it's usually going to be middle of May, right? So I'm going to stop like 1st of April, I'll actually stop. So that'll give me a better chance for it for nice full blooms, and I don't even really worry about it. So right now we're just pruning for shape. So this is more of a mounding style Calibrachoa. So this is going to form a mound over the top of the plant. When I plant these in a container, let me grab one of those. When I grab a container, this is a 12-inch round pulp from Western Pulp. It is a green pot. Those of you that want to know, it's not green in color. It is biodegradable. Okay, this is paper with paraffin, and then there's some little brass grommets in them. The brass is pretty much negligible, but the rest of this, you can actually take these and throw them into your compost heap. They will disappear. If you don't put it in a compost heap and you throw it outside, about a year, they're gone, right? As long as you have relatively moist conditions out there. If you're kind of deserty, they'll hang around for a while. But these Calibrachoas, when I plant them, there'll be 5 plants in here. They go in the very center. They are a mounding petunia, and I want them in the center of my pot. So I'm shaping for a nice round mound. I'm not shaping for it to trail. This will not trail. It's upright and mounding only. Why do I have a mounding petunia in a hanging basket? The reason to put mounding petunias in a hanging basket is when you're dealing with trailing petunias, like this guy here, this is Surfina Giant Blue. As that petunia gets older, those initial leaves from the very beginning of when that plant started growing, so the ones that we see right here, they're going to turn yellow and die right in the center of the pot. So your basket's going to get male pattern baldness, right? It's going to go bald on top. Trailing petunias, if it was this long, they bloom on the bottom 2/3 of the branches, bottom 2/3. So everything up top above that bottom 2/3 is going to be just leaves, or the leaves are going to die. So we're going to cover them with something, which is where the Calibrachoa comes in. This covers up the bald spot on top of the basket midsummer. Okay, so very specific reason there. And it adds color up top because your other petunias are going to bloom in the bottom 2/3. So we need to have something up top. So my basket's 12-inch pots. This is going to basically cover the full top of the pot. But those baskets, when I say bottom 2/3, my baskets will be 4 foot long. Some of them will get to 5 foot long by the end of the summer if they're raised right. So I want that whole basket top to bottom to look good, which is why I put a Mounding Calibrachoa in there. Okay, so how do you trim those? Well, basically like anything else, we're going to come in and we're going to just remove the tips of the branches. Okay, let me try to do this where I'm not going to drop those down in another plant. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to remove the tips like that. And it is going to promote branching in that plant. With the Calibrachoas, you have to make sure that you are removing your waste material from the pot. Do not let it land on the surface and stay there. It will rot and it will cause them to damp off. Calibrachoas love to damp off, and you don't want that. So as you go through and you're trimming for shape, you know, here's a previous pinch there. This one didn't get pinched down here. Take that off. Well, you didn't see that one. Okay, but I'm going to come in and I'm going to prune off the excess branches to make that branch out. Okay, so this one has branched because that's its last pinch. So I'm going to come in, and this is going to be a kind of a hard pinch, but that should make that branch. Okay, these take a lot of work to get them to really branch out well, but they are well worth it. And they look great. And these are still really early on. Let's see if we can go in here. Let's find that last pinch. I'm just going to come in here and just take this bud for right now. Get that off of there. Make it go more towards something else. So this one, yeah, actually we'll go in and remove that. Okay, and I'll remove all that plant material. Okay, so I'm trimming to shape here. Here's a better example. There you go. This is a better example. So we don't want just 3 branches off of here. We're going to come in, going to remove that one. We're going to come in and we're going to remove that one there. Okay, so I've cut those off. I'm going to come in and there's our last pinch here on this one. So we're going to let him go for a little bit and then we'll pinch him again. So I do a lot of pinches on my Calibrachoas. All right, well, we need to get rid of all these blossoms, so we'll get rid of those. We don't need those, and then we're going to come in here and pinch out the top bud. Okay, so with these you can pinch them with your fingers, which is generally quicker, but if you have sausage fingers, this will make it a little bit easier if you use some of these. So some of you are going to ask, so I'll show this. Where did these come from? These are branded, it says Hydra Farm. Okay. You might only be able to go in and shop for these in person in certain states. There's a certain crop that uses these. They're kind of like bonsai scissors, but they would be trimming them, using them to trim blossoms. The other cash crop, okay? That's where you find these. Yeah, you got to go into there or hop on Amazon or the internet. But these are what I'm using. So Hydra Farm, no, there's none of that other leafy stuff here. This is a school. But we do use the trimmers from that industry to trim our plants. They're designed to get in really close, and it's really handy to have those when you're doing something like callies. Callies have tiny buds, and it's easier to remove them with these type of trimmers because you can get in there and get some of the other leaves out of the way when you do it. Okay, so I know this one's kind of rambling on the callies, but this is a first pinch. We'll do another video later if we have to. Okay. You know what? We'll just go for it. All right. So that is pinching of Calibrachoa. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. It's how I've always been told to pronounce it. They're definitely a different plant than when I first encountered them 25 years ago. Somewhere around there. They have changed a lot. Okay, and we'll get into that in another video. I'll do some clandestine videos at a large big box store, and I'll talk why their baskets are different than my baskets. That's another video coming on later. But anyway, this is trimming of Callies. I'll make this one a little bit briefer, but yeah, we're going to trim for shape to try to get a big mounded shape on these and not just individual sticks. All right. If you have any questions, drop me a message. Subscribe to the channel because I am not going to post anywhere else on what I'm doing this. There is a curricula coming later for ag teachers. So stay tuned to that. I'll try to give updates. My plan is to try to finish that this summer. But like any teacher, I am busy in the summer. So I'll try to do that. It's going to be greenhouse management and basically how to teach greenhouse to students. Okay, if you have other questions, go ahead and drop them in there. And hey, watch us and watch us grow. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.